30.
30 off. Now break point for Sabatini.
Steffi finding it really difficult to string a couple of points in a row.
I'd call that a bad error because she wasn't trying to do that much, just get it over into the forehand side. We were talking earlier about the fact that we think Sabatini gets tired sometimes in 3-set matches, but with that hour and 12-minute delay, that gave her a chance to rest, so the physical aspect should not be really a big part of it.
Sabatini.
Another good point from Sabatini. She sets this one up very well. Moves in, got that volley, let that volley get a little bit low, but she gets away with it. Steffi trying on the run to hit a passing forehand. Got the top of the net.
Another break point.
Second one in this game for Sabatini.
Nicely played by Graf. Didn't rush it, didn't overplay it.
Get a good look at the way Steffi takes her time here. Sabatini comes in with a slice backhand, and Steffi just steps forward and hits right through the path of the ball. Back to deuce.
Avantage, Mademoiselle Graf.
Graf has the advantage. And lady's not really what you'd call ugly, is she? She gets a lot of endorsements, and rightfully so. That's long, so Graf, after a struggle, now leads 3-2 in the final set. Welcome back to Nine's Wide World of Sports, and also welcome to Fred Stolle, who's rejoined us in the commentary booth. Fred, still things look a little shaky, don't they?
Yes, I think Gabriela Sabatini has had a number of opportunities to get out in front in this match. I think Steffi Graf, when she came back, was rather nervous because the crowd noise before they started, she was a little irritated with that, so that shows you she was a little uptight. The shoulders sort of seem to be up around her neck a little bit, and everything seems to be not the way she would be satisfied.
I get the feeling that Graf is trying to pick up the tempo a little bit. He is going after the forehand a little bit more than she did before the rain delay.
I think mentally, Tony, Steffi Graf was a little tougher than Gabriela Sabatini, and that may tell towards the end of this match. Good approach shot, and look at this volley. Couldn't be better. But Steffi Graf, I think, came out. Both players are pretty nervous. They haven't served particularly well on their service game.
Boy, what a point that was. And if you want to see some depth, watch the depth that Sabatini gets here. And that's hardly fair, Fred.
Well, that was a great rally from both players, and a good approach shot by Gabriela Sabatini deep into that corner. But Steffi Graf, champion that she is, took a couple of steps backwards, waited for the ball to get to her, and then drove it cross court. Great shot.
And normally when you get the ball that deep, you're in pretty good shape if you're in a good volleying position. $15-30.
Again, not a bad play there. It was an error on the forehand side, but it lets Gabriela Sabatini know that on a second serve, her opponent is going to be aggressive. Watching these two players, though, Tony, Sabatini, to me, looks to be the more complete player. She has the more variety of shot, but just is making a few more errors under the pressure of this third set.
I'd agree, Fred. This is a break point now for Graf. Awfully good shot there by Gabriela.
Steffi Graf upset that that one came off the line. We see some of the Parisian fashions. They like to get dressed up to come to the tennis here in Paris.
Graf sort of slammed that ball trying to hit the net and just barely missed it and almost picked off the ball girl. Fred, again, I think one of the things that has impressed me about that young lady Sabatini is that she has gotten out of that flailing syndrome. The strokes are pure now, they're cleaner, the preparation is shorter, the follow-through is a little cleaner and threw the ball better, and I think it's really helped her a lot.
A lot more compact than it was 12 months ago.
And saves a lot of physical energy, too. The nice, clean strokes.
Égalité. Avantage, Mademoiselle Sabatini. Égalité.
Late
Avantage,
preparation
Mademoiselle
again.
Sabatini.
As Betsy mentioned, Steffi Graf makes a few of those errors off the forehand side. That's the side that she tries to try and hit the winners from.
It's out. Great defensive play that time by Sabatini, anticipating the two smashes by Graf.
J. Mademoiselle Sabatini. 3 jeux partout.
I think you could say that Sabatini was the crowd favorite here, Tony. I think Steffi Graf has had a lot of publicity this week in the paper. As you have a look at the beautiful motion on the serve of Gabriela Sabatini. And she's played an extremely good match up to this point today.
3-all final set. And in case you're looking ahead, there will be no tie break in the final set. Played to its conclusion.
That's the stroke in my mind that has let Steffi Graf down today, the sliced backhand. She hasn't attempted to come over the ball very much at all, except on the passing shot. And Gabriela Sabatini's been able to mix her ground strokes up, particularly off that backhand side, with the slice and the big topspin one down the line. That mental toughness, that's what this is going to get down to. Good motion on the serve, good body weight out and into the ball.
Little hitch that time, wasn't there? We're back to regular action now. Slice backhand again. As I said, when this young lady came back after the break, I thought she was tight, not relaxed around the shoulders, and looked nervous. Big point here. I think that ball must hit right on the baseline, and it's a break point. And a big one it is for Sabatini. Your favorite 7th game, Fiery.
Yes, and what an important one it is. And remember, the first point of this match was a net cord, and it went to Gabriela Sabatini, and it may have been an omen there. A little bit of luck. She's hit the line 3 or 4 times on big points throughout this match.
Sabatini gets her break and leads 4-3 in the final set. Some of the interested spectators in Stade Roland Garros Lovely city of Paris.
Un petit silence, s'il vous
Enjoying
plaît.
this women's semifinal match, and we hope you're enjoying it on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Sabatini, 2 games away from moving into the finals. But that can be a long 2 games. Serving at 4-3 with a break.
That one's floated wide. You can see just a little bit of tension there on both sides of the court. The wind sort of took that one out. Match in Rome, in the final in Rome a couple of weeks ago, was a great match for 2 sets, and then the young lady in your picture there got very weary in the 3rd set and lost at 6-love. But she's had a rain delay here of 1 hour and 10 minutes, and Tony's mentioned that fact that wide stretch to the backhand there, but physical capabilities or tiredness should not come into this match now. Both girls have had that break. 15 all.
Premier service.
Seems to me that Graf is playing awfully deep to return Sabatini's serve, which is not a real big weapon. Sabatini was there. As you mentioned, Fred, mental toughness is part of this. Have another look at this and Fiery.
Good volley there and a good stretch on this forehand, but she should have put it away, and Steffi Graf angles it back, and Sabatini's on it. But shows her displeasure there. Big point for her. 15-30 opens the door for Graf a little.
Well, let's see if Graf steps around, tries to pounce on a forehand.
And there's Sabatini saying, yes, come on, let's go. That's the one that's been the shot of the day for her. Don't forget, Sabatini has never beaten Steffi Graf. 6-0 to Graf, but they've had some pretty good 3-set matches.
Correction. Ball school.
Steffi doesn't realize it. The correction has been called.
Well, she's fortunate. I mean, Sabatini got the ball back anyway. So they're going to play a let. She really hadn't lost anything. It was initially called out. The umpire overruled it. Four-3 and deuce. Final set. Sabatini 1 point away from going out to a 5-3 lead in this final set. Tremendous pressure when you think about it, Fred. 2 17-year-old young ladies out in a Grand Slam. One of them going to get to the finals and be very elated. The other one very disappointed.
good friends and doubles partners, but both realize the importance of this. Basically the clay court championship of the world, the French Open.
Neither had been in a final of a Grand Slam.
It's only Sabatini's third year at Roland Garros. Well, that takes a bit of guts because she's going in there on not a good approach shot, but it's going into the forehand wing of Steffi Graf, and that's the power shot. So the pressure is mounting. She missed that one. Not a difficult one, that one for Graf.
Earlier, Betsy made a good comment, too. Last year, Hanna Mandlikova really exploited Graf's forehand and broke it down, and she got a lot of errors from it.
That's the shot that I've liked from Sabatini, that off forehand into the backhand corner, and 5 games to 3 now. It comes down to nail-biting time.
She came out with a little vamos, let's go. She realized she'd hit a winner. Now you're going to see what both these people are made of. Everybody's talked about how tough, mentally tough Graf is. Going to have a chance to display it here now. 3-5.
15-0.
Well, it looked like Graf made a tactical error by not getting in after she got the lob over Sabatini's head, but she ended up winning the point anyway. 30-15.
Great point. She played the drop shot and then the lob, but then hangs back on this one, and would have been an easy volley had she been in there, but she hits the forehand for a winner. That's the favorite shot. 30-15. Well, we've seen a couple of whippy forehands the last couple of points, and maybe Gabriela Sabatini is getting to the point where she thinks she may win this match.
Graf holds serve, and when we come back, Gabriela Sabatini will be serving for the match. A huge moment for Gabriela Sabatini, and you're seeing it on 9's Wide World of Sports. Also a very huge moment for that young lady, Steffi Graf, as Sabatini is serving at 5-4 in the third set, has a chance to get into the finals of her first Grand Slam tournament. First time into the final.
Another line ball. 3 points away from victory.
A weak second serve and a courageous attempt by Graf. That's hard to do, Fred. Go out there and swing at it like that under these circumstances.
It's also pretty tough for Gabriela to serve this out. Be the first Grand Slam final for either girl and lady. Well, you saw during that rally Steffi Graf come over a backhand, and I think that's been the problem throughout this match, mostly slice backhands. In this particular set, she's only come over the top of 3 backhands. And Gabriela Sabatini has exploited that shot to perfection so far. 15-30.
Break points for Graf, who has been aggressive this game.
Good approach here and not a good reply. That one is a pretty easy put away for Steffi Graf. She hasn't been to the net too many times, but that one was a good volley.
Perfect. And Steffi Graf levels at 5-all.
With a topspin backhand that hit right on the line. She hasn't hit too many line balls, and Gabriela Sabatini has found that line on some big points, but that is one of the few topspin backhands, and it paid right on the line, so it's all back even at 5-all. Now everybody's getting nervous.
And just a reminder, there is no tiebreak in this final set. Somewhat of a delayed call on the baseline. Number 3 in the double fault department.
Little hitch in that serve that you alluded to, Tony.
Get the toss too high, and you got to wait for it to come back down where you can reach it. Sabatini taking a little extra walk. She was winded after that tough point. It's 15-30. Fred, I detect a little weariness at this moment in the legs of Sabatini, perhaps partially it's frustration and disappointment at not being able to put the match away.
Well, she certainly must feel that she's had opportunities right from the start of this third set, Tony, to get her first victory over Steffi Graf, and a little disappointment, but she's still well in this match yet. But he is taking a little more time between points. But Steffi, on the other hand, she likes to get on with the job, so maybe it's just a tactic to try and slow her down, get Steffi Graf out of a rhythm.
I'm frankly surprised that Graf has not been a little more aggressive in going to the net. She's had a lot of opportunities on short balls, and she's elected to just hit it and back up a little bit. 40-30.
Well, she volleys well, Tony, but she's not comfortable up in that position. And you know, when it gets this tight, you go back to what's worked best for you. And she's not going to go and serve and volley too much at this stage, I wouldn't think.
A surprise tactic by Sabatini pays off. A gutsy play.
That was a tough half volley she hit on that one, too. Look at this.
40.
Black just lifts up and goes for that one and moves in on this forehand volley. Really executes it well because it was a sliced backhand down the line, got up a little high, so she shoulder height, good volley.
Long.
Avantage, Mademoiselle Graf.
I think this is a great match for two 17-year-olds under the intense pressure that they are both under. This young an age to be out there.
Mademoiselle Graf.
Graf holds. And when we come back, Sabatini will be serving at 5-6. The weight of the world must be on that young lady's shoulders. And Gabriela Sabatini led 5-3 in this set, third and final set of the semifinal match. She's now serving at 5-6 with new balls.
On the changeover, Tony, interestingly enough, she changed rackets. Used that one right throughout the match and then just went into tennis bag and has changed rackets. Maybe this is a tighter racket that will give her a little more zip on the serve.
Fred, you got new balls here. They have to be more lively. You've got to be a little more careful, don't you? You've got to cover the ball and get a little more topspin on it. They fly a little bit.
They do, and certainly on a day like today. Pretty humid down there now after the rain.
Kansas.
Footwork.
A little tired swing there on it.
Tired swing and wasn't to the ball, wasn't quite there. So Gabby Sabatini certainly